Welcome to the Lighthouse, a place where care is talked about honestly and people are never just a number. If you are already supporting someone with disability or complex needs, you already know how much responsibility this journey carries. I know I do. Appointments, services, funding, workers, decisions, and underneath it all, that constant responsibility to make sure your person is safe, respected, and truly cared for. I bet some days you feel like you've got this, but others, you lie awake at night wondering if you're making the right decisions or who can you really trust. That's a biggie. I hope this podcast can help you with that. We will talk about what good care actually looks like, how to navigate the system, and how to advocate with confidence and protect dignity for the person you love. I'm Jeanette Salmi, founder of Dignified Movement. My journey into this work began when I became a full-time carer, and that experience changed how I understood care forever. My mission is simple: to raise the standard of care and help families feel safe navigating this journey. Think of this podcast as your go-to for support. I'm here to be your lighthouse. Hi, welcome. It is so lovely to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really looking forward to listening to what you have to say. So I just thought we'd start off with just a few little light questions so people can get to know you. Do you have a favourite quote or a motto that really speaks to you or inspires you?
I do actually. When I started this whole journey of when my son was diagnosed, one of the quotes I saw on a really big poster was, "She believed she could, so she did." And
I love it.
I'm already going to cry. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't even know what I was going to do, but I don't know, it just spoke to me. So I bought that, and it's still up in the clinic today. It's on his therapy door.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's
it's something
so
I
good.
still see every day.
That is so good. What about a book or a movie or a TV show that maybe you've recently enjoyed?
Do you know what I really love? And everyone's going to laugh because it's a bit of a crazy phenomenon at the moment, but it's the K-pop Demon Hunters. Bear with me.
Okay.
Bear with me. The reason being, I feel like it's so impactful for people with disability. I know that's not the demographic that the movie was made around, but I feel like it really speaks to you because it speaks about having to hide your true self. And I think for people it means masking. We're having to mask just to be able to blend into society or hold a job or hold a friendship or relationship. And I just feel it brought out such beauty. And then seeing young kids singing the songs, which have really impactful lyrics as well, that again talk about I'm free, I can use my voice now. A voice that used to cause me problems is now what brings me power. I think, I just love it.
Awesome. Sounds wonderful. What do you think is the best piece of advice then through your journey that you've ever received?
This one was a hard one because lots of people give you good advice, but the good advice is not always what helps you when things are hard. So one piece of advice I got that actually initially shocked me was somebody turned around and said to me, "You can't expect everyone to care just because you do. It doesn't matter to others the way it matters to you." And I just remember just being stunned. I just really didn't know how to process it. So I took it away and I went for a run because that's how I manage my busy brain. I run. And I was like, okay, so for them to understand why it's important, I need to understand why it's important to me. What impact could this have on a person that today it has no impact on, but it could impact them down the future or down the line and stuff like that. So that was a really important piece of advice. Not everybody's going to care just because you do.
And it is so true.
It really is.
It is so true. I'm not going to forget that one. That's excellent. Okay, so can you start by telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Lily. I'm the director, CEO, and also the chairwoman of Little Grubs Orchard and Little Grubs Orchard Foundation. Little Grubs Orchard, the therapy support service, we've rebranded now to call LGO Therapy Group. And we have done that in conjunction with our children who've been with us in therapy for 6 years and continue on to utilise our therapy supports. And they wanted to continue to feel included and a part of the family.
Great.
That is who I am. I'm also a mum of 3 beautiful children. And yeah, I get to have the best job in the world, which is working with people that have incredible and special abilities that make the world truly a better place.
Amazing. And I've been to your rooms and they are amazing. Absolutely amazing. What first sparked your desire to make an impact in the field or the community?
Oh, Jeanette, this is a funny story. So this brings into it my beautiful mother-in-law, who actually today is her anniversary of her passing. So it's a very special day for us because we celebrate her receiving her angel wings. But when Liam was diagnosed, she was also diagnosed. She was diagnosed with cancer, and then 2 months later, Liam was diagnosed with autism. And Perth wouldn't give her treatment. I said to her, "Come and live with us, Mum, and we're going to work it out." So she flew across the country to live with us. We were always best friends, but never lived together. We've traveled together. She was one of my absolutely favorite people. And we started the journey together. So she would go have treatment. We would then drive in the car and drive Liam to therapy. And it was her that said to me, "They're not going to have an impact on him. They don't even engage him. They don't see him. They don't speak to him." And these were the things that I couldn't even process because I was already overwhelmed, not knowing what the future held. And then I remember her, after one particular speech therapy appointment, we came outside and she just said to me, "You need to change this." And I just laughed because I just thought she was joking because she had a really great sense of humor. And I said, "Yeah, Mum, sure, I'll just go change the world." She goes, "Yeah, and you need to go back to school to do it." And that's when I realized she's actually thought about this. That's what initially sparked it, was that conversation with her. She really sat me down and we had a really big heart to heart. And she just said to me, "He needs opportunity and nobody's going to give that to him. You need to figure this out." And there was times where I would say, "Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I don't even know anything about this. Like, how am I going to learn this?" And she just would always say to me, "Build it and they will come." That was her response to everything, whether it was me lost in the therapy journey, not understanding, because we had 12 speech therapists, we had 7 OTs, and nobody could help me. We had specialists, we've had the one consistent pediatrician that would help us. So her response was always, "Build it and they will come, build it and they will come." I just took it step by step. I went back to school, and that really then ignited the fire in me when I realized that I was the oldest person in school with the only person with lived experience. So I knew I had to make that change and just figure it out as I went along.
What a responsibility. So exciting, so exciting. Can you share a defining moment in your journey, something that maybe shaped your mission and your values?
Absolutely. It actually builds on that story. Funny how that's just worked in. So I really wasn't sure how I was going to continue to doing it. At this point, we'd grown little grubs from the front of my room because that's where we started. The goal was to really build a community around Liam and support around him. Being a bit of an older mum, I'm very aware of the fact that I'm on a very tight time schedule. So I really wanted to build community for him and a place where he could feel he belonged. And through that journey, we then built from the front of my house. We then took over Short Street, our very first clinic. And I still really wasn't sure, am I doing what I'm supposed to? Am I doing it right? Am I going to do justice to this cause, to this purpose? So questioning every part of me in my head on repeat. And we had the now Premier Dave Crucifilli coming to actually make pizzas with the children.
Oh, awesome.
So I was standing there in the doorway, just filled with anxiety. I don't even think I could talk. My brain had just shut that part of my ability off. And I was looking down the corridor. You know how with Short Street, we've got the long corridor. And I was standing by the glass door, looking into the room where we had prepared all the ingredients for the pizza making that we were going to do. And I just had no idea what was going on. And then I looked down the corridor and I saw a sea of people. Please cut it out. I saw a sea of people walking towards me, parents holding their children's hands and coming to the clinic. And it was my mother-in-law, "Build it and they will come." And that was the defining moment for me.
Wow.
It didn't matter anymore about my plans. It no longer mattered about business plans. This was my whole purpose.
Yes.
So from that moment on, I no longer spend time on looking as a business structure, which a lot of people will shake their heads at that. I just look to my kids.
Yes.
The kids will tell me everything I need to know as far as their supports, and everything I have built since, every opportunity that we now inbuilt into the program, the kids have defined for us, nobody else. So that was the truly defining moment of, I am good enough to build this for them.
100%. And that's what makes you so unique. That is what makes it so special, because it is so real.
It is
It's
such
so
a
real.
defining moment after the punishing constant questions that go on in your head.
100%.
And I felt like that was her kind of saying to me, hey, I told you.
I told you so.
Build it and they will come. And when I saw them all coming towards me at once, it was phenomenal. It was one of the most core memories I will take away with me.
So you knew then,
I knew
am
then.
absolutely 100% on the right
This
track.
is the purpose.
Yes.
This is why I'm here.
Exactly. And everyone needs that unique purpose. None of us can do it all. Nobody can do it all. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. So what's one big win that you're especially proud of, and what did it actually teach you?
One big win that we celebrate all the time is when kids that come to us that have really struggled just flourish. That is such a win we get to live over and over again. And what it teaches me is that if you're not thriving, you're not in the right place. And it really teaches me as a person, as a professional, as a daughter.
Yes.
It teaches me as a sister. You really need to look at where you are if you're not thriving, because a lot of the time the children will come to us and they have been to other therapy support services, and it's not that they weren't good enough or that they didn't deliver a good program. They didn't deliver it in a way that signified with the child.
Yes.
And that, I think, is the key.
Yes.
And therapy takes a long time. Like, it took my son over almost 5,000 therapy hours just to learn how to speak.
Wow.
It takes a long time.
Yes.
But what we need to remember in the meantime is you really need to build someone's ability to believe.
Yes.
Because if you don't believe in yourself, you can have the best therapist, you can have the best environment, the best opportunities.
100%.
You're going to sit frozen in your anxiety of doubt. That is the best thing that I get to relive every day.
Awesome. That is so special.
It is incredible.
Incredible. And the people that you will affect over the years, like in the future, kids that aren't even born yet. Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
So on the flip side, what's a failure or a setback you've experienced, but how did it shape you and your path?
God, there's a lot. There's a lot.
I'm with you.
There's a lot. I don't believe in failures per se. I believe in redirection.
Yes.
I really do. So right from my childhood, I can tell you, Jeanette, I failed in school. I failed German twice. So I failed year 4 because it's not my mother tongue. So I was raised to speak another language, and then my school spoke another language, and then in the community we spoke a different language because we're so close to the Italian borders. And then I have ADHD. So bring all that together, it was very impactful, but it taught me from a really young age about connection and redirection. So it taught me that if I was able to connect with my teachers, I was able to get the support to be able to redirect and help me learn the skills I needed to pass. And then I took that into my HR career, which there was a lot there. There was a lot there. I remember one of the days I sent out an email that said first and final warning to everybody, and it wasn't even a warning. HR had a meltdown. That, again, was a redirection of my way into HR. They took me into the role. And then I went on to become a business partner there. But then with the space that I'm in now, I think the biggest, not failure, but the biggest redirection lesson I've learned is it's okay to be profitable because you needed to make a change.
Absolutely.
So I was very much of the thought, you're not allowed to be profitable in any way because it means you're greedy. And that then led to a big sequence of failures. It led to me not being able to do what I really wanted to do and help in the way I wanted to help. And I went to an incredible seminar where the lady that started Boost Juice,
oh yes,
she was speaking, and she said, you need one for the other. And it really almost gave me permission to then make sure to go out and continue to build and continue to expand and continue to look at profit and kind of come back to that business model a little bit more to then be able to make greater impact in the community,
100%.
particularly for children in care, particularly for youth that don't have NDIS because they're not able to have the support to demonstrate the level of need that they have. So we then come in and support them without any questions asked. So I think that's been my biggest lesson of redirection is it's okay to make a profit in order to make impact.
I've been on exactly the same journey.
It's a tough one.
It's a very tough one. And I think somebody said to me, Jeanette, it's only greedy if it goes in your pocket.
Yeah.
But
it's what
how
you do
many
with it.
more people can you impact if you have more money? And it's so true. You can't help people if you've got nothing.
And then, Jeanette, it made me wonder, where do we even get that value from? Why is it not okay? Because what we deliver is excellent.
Yes.
We would pay for something excellent.
100%.
So why is it not okay to have that level of expectation?
Yes.
And then be able to redirect that money to greater good?
Absolutely, 100%. So good. Okay, so was there ever a moment that you considered giving up?
Yes.
And if so, what kept you going?
I think back to the story when I was waiting for Dave Crucifilli to turn up. He wasn't the premier at that point. I knew he was going to be. He's just so phenomenal. He's so passionate. He was in the middle of a campaign trail and he came and took the time out to make pizza with kids.
Yeah.
And there was no cameras there. It was just us filming, and it was so impactful. And it was that moment that I was standing there only 10 minutes before, full of anxiety, thinking, what am I doing? Why do I think I'm equipped to do this? And then having the families walking towards me, holding their kids' hands, and the corridor was full. Having that moment, helping me align my purpose, and then having to go in and make pizzas with the kids. Not having to, but really enjoying that process and showing them the proper Italian pizzas, because they're very simple, the Italian pizzas, and so forth. And then that's when I knew I couldn't give up, because if he believed in us enough to stop his future and his goals and what he's been dreaming towards and working towards probably for a very long time, to give us that time completely undivided, I knew I couldn't give up. I knew I had to keep going, and that was really important.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So how do you define impact in the work that you do?
I've thought a lot about this. I think for me, my purpose beyond the therapy is aligning people and connecting people, and doing it though in a way where people understand that the magic is in them, not outside of them. And then when they're connected with that, watching them thrive, I think that for me is ultimate impact, because then that person goes out into the world empowered and will continue to make change. They will then continue to build the table.
Absolutely.
I think that's a really big one for me.
Okay. So what does real meaningful change look like to you?
Meaningful change looks like when we don't turn our backs on people that are different.
100%.
I know that sounds simple, but it's really not. And it happens all the
All
time.
the time.
It happens every day. And my workforce is 70% neurodiverse. And that is creating true change, where we're giving people a purpose every day,
Yes.
but also ensuring that the environment is suitable, ensuring that we have calm spaces, ensuring that they have access to communication. So we have walkie-talkies, so they can say, hey, I need a 10-minute break. And it's not about questioning, why do you need the break? It's about, no problem, I'm coming in.
Yes.
And then we come in and they just need to do what they need to do. We have support on site. And I think that is true change.
Absolutely.
That is true change, when you feel empowered and you're different because you have a superpower, you have something to offer that not everybody has, then you're being supported to share that power. I think that's the true definition of creating that change.
Absolutely.
And then that goes down to the children.
100%.
Giving them the change, giving them the, I know this is hard, but we're going to do it together, and I'm going to show you how. And then breaking down on how they can learn how to master simple things, even like toileting. Like, a lot of our children come to us 6, 7 years old, very aware they're in nappies.
Oh my goodness.
Very aware other children do not have them. And we just say, it's okay. Sometimes grown-ups wear nappies too. This is real talk.
Yeah.
And then having the impact that way.
What drives you to keep showing up, especially when the work gets hard?
My kids.
Okay.
My kids, definitely. Because some days it's hard. I think when you run your own business, people don't understand the mental load you carry. I really don't think they do. There's no switch off.
No.
and you have to be everything for everyone, and you have to really get okay with having an immense amount of mental pressure every day.
Yes.
And they keep me going. Like watching Liam thrive, watching him go from this little person in his own world to now emerging, and he's even written a little PowerPoint presentation about it, how he's the hungry little caterpillar, but he's the hungry little Liam. And then watching how he now sees himself because of the level of support he's had, and then watching his friends do the same. I think that is the ultimate. It just keeps you going. It helps you push past your own barrier,
yes,
your own challenges, in order to keep delivering for the children.
Absolutely, the bigger cause.
The
Absolutely.
bigger cause.
So what kind of legacy do you hope to leave behind?
I need another tissue. I try not to think about it too much because I think it really hits home that time is limited. Lost my dad last year, and I think that changed a lot.
Yes.
But I just want, the legacy I want to be is the power effect, the LGO effect. And when people say, what's that? Is I know I can do it.
Yes.
I can't even finish the sentence. I know I can do it because they believed in me.
Yeah.
When people stand up that, like Liam, were nonverbal for the first 6-7 years of his life, and he's definitely going to go on to being some kind of public speaker, to say that I couldn't speak, I couldn't see the way, but they believed in me.
Yes.
So they continue to create a pathway that didn't exist. And I think that's the legacy, that we continue to build pathways that others can't even imagine.
Exactly.
And our kids walk through those pathways, our youth, our adults walk through those pathways and just shine at the end of it.
Absolutely. Very powerful.
Oh,
very powerful.
I can't believe I was able to even say that without blubbering. Sorry.
It does, a little bit of blubbering is actually quite lovely. How do you want people to feel or act differently because of the work you've done?
I want people, particularly the people that aren't impacted, I want them to take note, because we need everybody in our community. We need people of all minds, of all walks of life in our community, people with typical children that will educate their children that this, if you have a neurodiverse friend, you have a friend for life. You have someone that's so passionate, so loyal. And I think that's what we want to be able to do, is continue to build that community for children, adults and youth, because children turn into youth and then grow into adults. So we really want people to give opportunity, to be open, not to fear. I can tell you that when Liam was diagnosed, we lost all of our friends who have typical children. Yeah, true story. So far as so that I heard one dad say to his wife, we were in a play centre and it was my eldest daughter's birthday, and he said, oh, we can't be around them anymore because we don't want our daughter to start picking up those behaviours. Yet he didn't even have a single behaviour. He just wasn't verbal. And so we lost all of our typical friends because they had fear of what that would mean for their children once Liam started to get older. So I think that's really what I want people to know. You will never know a love.
Yeah.
You will never know a love like it.
And judgment is just something we shouldn't have. No, we shouldn't. I've walked a similar path. Not exactly the same, but similar. So I understand. What advice would you give to someone who wants to make a difference but isn't sure where to start?
Oh, look, I just think know your why. You really need to understand why you're doing what you're doing. My core of why was opportunity. He didn't have the opportunity he deserved. And also understanding where you want to start.
Yes.
Because there's layers. So I started at ground zero. I started with my families because I am one of the families. So I didn't start from a place of financial support. Everything I built myself through what I was invoicing. I would use that money and put it back into the business. I didn't have a wage at all for the first 3 years. I worked a different job. I was a HR advisor. I was advising under contract to pay wages. So that would pay wages. And then the money I was invoicing, I was putting back into the business to be able to continue to deliver. So I think understand where you can start and where you want to start. But it really is that simple. I read a quote the other day that said, things actually are not hard. People tell you that because they don't want you to do what you want to do.
Exactly.
things are simple. You just got to understand where you want to start, understand your why, and just a day at a time.
One step at a time. That's
One step at a
exactly.
time. Where we are today was never the goal. To where it was never even my thought process of where we're going to be. So I just think you got to go with it. You have to be open, and you just got to enjoy the journey.
I love that expression that you walk through a door and there are 3 more doors.
Yeah.
So you choose one, you walk through a door,
Yeah.
and there are 5 more doors, and you walk through one.
And you just keep going.
And there are 10 doors, then there are 20 doors. You never get there.
Yeah.
But you just keep expanding and growing as you build your own capabilities.
And I think when you find your passion, that's the beauty of it.
100%.
It's like it's a ride of life. You just don't know where it's going to end. And I think that's the excitement of it.
Absolutely. So what inspires you right now and why?
Right now, what inspires me is gaps.
Okay.
I really am adamant and determined to fill the gaps that are currently there for our children and our youth. Includes schooling. The Spectrum Academy is something I talk about a lot. I've been pushing it with the government for the last almost 3 years. And it's just providing a project-based school for children that cannot go to a mainstream school.
Yes.
Or to a special school.
Yes.
That's a big driver for me. Job opportunities for our youth, that's a big driver for me. We have a program that we run. It's very small because I need other companies to get on board. And it's building skills for youth. It could be simple like building administration skills so they can go into their admin job.
Yes.
Or giving them an opportunity to be around children so they can decide if that's the space they want to go into. But at the moment, I can only offer it in our space, and I'd love to be able to offer it in more environments, in different environments that offer different job streams and job opportunities. So that's one of my motivators at the moment.
Awesome.
And my foundation. My foundation is something that I'm so passionate about to continue to give back to the community.
Awesome.
And it actually funds a lot of those as well. So
that's awesome.
It's amazing.
So good. I'd like to finish on, if you could be remembered for one message or action, what would it be?
That I never, ever give up. I just keep going.
Yeah. Awesome. And that's how you get there. That's how you get there. I know people say to me, you should retire. I go, no.
There's too much to do.
Too much to do. That's exactly my line. There's too much to do.
Too much to do. And life is to be lived. We're tourists.
100%.
So would you go to another country and just lay in your hotel room the whole entire time? No, you do not. You rest and recoup. Absolutely. But you go out and you immerse yourself in your environment. So 100%. That's what we're here to do.
Well, congratulations on your journey to date. I think it is so exciting. I know when we visited your rooms, they were just a buzz. That just touched my heart. And I love what you're doing. And I'm hoping that we will be able to unite and do some things together over the years coming.
I'm hoping so too. Yeah. I think there could be lots of doors for us.
I think there could be too. But thank you again for coming.
Thank you for having me, Jeanette. Pleasure.
Well.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to The Lighthouse. If today's conversation resonated with you, consider sharing this episode with another parent or carer who might need to hear it. You can also follow the podcast so you don't miss future conversations about navigating care, protecting dignity, and raising the standard of support for the people we love. If you'd like to learn more about the work we do, visit Dignified Movement or connect with us online. Until next time, take care.